Yes.
So how many of y'all bought bingo tickets by actually using Google Pay yourselves? Or you all made your family members, your sons,
Not
daughters?
Google Pay, directly to the account.
Through account. I am also paying through account only.
Okay, so net banking
Yes, net bank.
Mobile app.
or the mobile app.
Mobile app.
Okay, perfect. So I think that was Vijay Lakshmi auntie, right? Who said she
Yes.
does it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so given that she's a banker, you know, obviously that was expected. But the whole objective of my session today is to explain to you some of the concepts in terms of how payments and banking happens now vis-a-vis what you were used to in terms of going to a bank and, you know, drawing up a check and waiting for it to clear over 3 days. I'm trying to pick up some concepts that you may hear your children speak about and give you some clarity on how it works. Okay, if you hopefully there would be some confidence that you may have in transacting more online. If you feel it's getting too technical, if you feel it's getting too boring, we can pause it and we can just keep it interactive to answer any questions. So the reason I picked up this topic is because by qualification, I'm a chartered accountant and I have been a banker for almost 10 years. So I thought I would be able to answer a lot of your questions. So let's just get started. Right. Okay. Okay, so we start with the first question. Okay. What is IMPS? Okay, I'm going to show you some options. All right. Is it immediate mobile payment service? Is it intermediary mobile payment system? Is it an important mobile payment system? Or is it an immediate money payment system?
I think it's an immediate money payment system.
Payment system.
The fourth one, number 4.
Fourth one.
It's
Money
an
payment
immediate
system.
money payment system.
Okay, so most people are saying number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
Anyone else thinks it's something else? Any of the other 3? No? Okay. Let's see what the answer is.
Immediate money.
It's the immediate mobile payment service.
Oh,
Okay.
immediate mobile. Okay.
That's right. So to put it very simply, right, I'll just explain to you it in few sentences, right? So when I ask you the question about Google Pay or any of the wallets like a Paytm or Amazon Pay or Phone Pay, any of these wallets, right? When you put a request to transfer money on your smartphone, right? There is a technology at the back end it uses, which actually links your mobile phone to your bank account and further links it to the bank account and the mobile phone of the receiver party. And that is how the payment gets transferred. You're with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you download an app like a Google Pay, they always ask you to link your bank account. So that's how you link the app to your mobile account. Similarly, the receiver who could be your, Amazon or your fruit vendor, right? Today, even vegetable vendors are accepting this form of payment, right? So their bank account and their mobile number is linked. Okay. So it's immediate, right? You press pay here and the other guy gets an SMS immediately, right? So a 3-day clearing, right? It took you 3 days to clear a check 20 years back. You went to the bank, you put it in the drop box, and it would take 3 days to clear. Now it takes 3 seconds. Yeah, thanks to this backend technology called IMPS.
Mobile payment service.
Okay.
Yeah.
Too heavy? Too technical?
No,
Or
very
it's okay?
interesting.
Very
Okay.
nice.
Perfect. So now let's go to the next one. What is RTGS, right? Real-time grid system, ready transfer gross system, real-time gross settlement, or ready to go shopping?
Third one, I think.
Third
Real
one.
time gross.
Number 2.
Number 3.
Ready
Three.
transfer.
Number
Real-time
3.
gross settlement.
Real
Real-time
ready
gross
transfer.
Real-time
Gross
gross
system.
settlement.
Ready transfer.
Okay,
No,
so
third
some people
one.
are saying option 2 and
Third
some
one.
people are saying option
No.
3.
Yes.
Ready
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 transfer.
transfer gross
Ready
system.
transfer.
No,
Two.
ready transfer gross
Ready
system.
transfer gross system.
Gross system.
The second
No
one.
real time
Should
gross
be like that.
settlement.
Maybe 3.
I think
Ready
second one.
transfer
Three.
gross system.
Okay, so it's I can get equal voices for 2 and 3. So I think it's a tie. So let's see what the answer is.
Two,
Three.
two.
It is 3.
Real-time
Real-time
gross system.
cross settlement. All right. Now, typically, I don't think you all would have encountered it in your normal day-to-day dealings, but RTGS basically is used for higher value transactions. So IMPS that we looked at, you can actually transfer even 1 rupee, right? On Google Pay or Amazon Pay or any of this, even if you want to transfer 1 rupee, you can. But in RTGS, it needs to be about 2 lakhs of rupees. So if you have a business and corporates, etc., for a quick settlement, they use the RTGS, which you can do online. Basically, it's just transforming the whole paper transfer into an online transfer. But there is a minimum limit for this. So real-time gross settlement. So normally you wouldn't come across it, but if you log into your internet banking or net banking, like as Pushpa Aunty or Vijay Lakshmi Aunty said, when you say you want to transfer money, right, you will see 3 options there, which will say, do you want to do an IMPS? Do you want to do an RTGS? Or do you want to do an NEFT?
NEFT.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you, when you next time you log into your bank account, look at these names. So you will see RTGS. So if you have to make a lump sum payment to somebody, or you want to invest in a mutual fund, right? You could do it via RTGS. So it immediately goes into the mutual funds account. Yeah. But it's a minimum amount of 2 lakhs of rupees. Yeah. So you can't use RTGS to transfer money to Saleh, for example. Okay. All right. So that's
RTGS for Karishma, RTGS and NEFT bank is charging now something. Bank charges are there.
Bank charges
RTGS
for all the transactions.
RTGS, yes, there
Yes.
used to be. I'm not sure whether they charge now, but NEFT, there are no charges.
Okay.
No charges for NEFT.
RTGS is 2 lakhs minimum.
Yes,
Minimum
yes,
2 lakhs minimum.
that's right.
Now
yes.
for this IMPS, for 100 rupees, they charge 1 rupee and some paise. There is.
Really?
Yeah.
No. Which
Yeah,
bank
I
is
got
this?
from Bank of Baroda to HDFC.
That's very
It is
surprising, ma'am.
Third
Because
payment. Yeah, I got it now 101 point something. So 1 rupee a point paise they charge.
Always we are doing IMPS, there is no charges.
yeah,
No, you
exactly.
don't. No,
Actually,
there is, but you may not be getting that. You see, SMS. I get SMS. It is written there. I don't know.
No, okay. Later on, I will show you something which says most UPI vendors like an HDFC or any of the bigger ones will not charge you. Probably BOB is charging. It is dependent, but most banks don't charge you for IMPS.
Okay.
Most banks don't. Okay, let's go to the next one. So since I mentioned NEFT, okay,
NEFT.
what's NEFT? Net exchange funds transfer, new equation of
National
financial
Electronic
transfer,
Fund Transfer.
National Electronic Funds
Funds.
Transfer,
4.
or National Exchange first.
National
National Electronic
Number
Fund
4.
Transfer. I think it's number 4. National Electronic Fund Transfer.
Okay. Let's see what the answer is.
No,
It is
no.
Correct. National Electronics. Correct.
Electronic Fund Transfer.
Transfer.
So NEFT also another very quick mode of payment. There is a slight difference between how NEFT works and IMPS works. IMPS is immediate. Yeah, NEFT happens on a batch-wise payment. So maybe in half an hour's time. So when you are doing a NEFT transfer, it is possible that the person to whom you're transferring may see it with a lag of half an hour or 40 minutes, right? Because it is a batch-based processing. The bank accumulates everything and processes it as a batch, whereas IMPS is immediate. So it's on a transaction by transaction basis. So that's the small difference between NEFT and IMPS. Okay, so what's the difference, right? Some features of what the difference is. So as I said, IMPS, you can transfer even 1 rupee. RTGS, you need to pay at least 2 lakhs. NEFT is 1 rupee, right? Payment options, IMPS is only online. So you need your smartphone to be able to download the app and make the payment. Whereas NEFT and RTGS, so you could have an offline. So because these methods of payment are normally used by companies, some companies like to see a paper trail, and hence the bank has actually something which is called an NEFT form or an RTGS form, where you can go to a branch and you can actually submit it and get your money transferred, right? So that's the payment option. Maximum transfer value, there is no limit. IMPS, of course, 2 lakhs, because then you have to go to the next platform. So this is real time, the settlement, and NEFT happens at half hourly interval. So yeah, so Vijay Lakshmi Aunty, as I said, right, NEFT, RTGS, there are no charges. IMPS, some member banks may charge, but most of your banks, like the HDFCs, ICICI, Axis, SBI, none of these banks charge you.
Yeah, maybe national banks, they charge. This is
Yeah.
third party. That is why they charge.
That's true.
If it is,
Yes.
if it is
If the
within
person has an account with, say, since you said Bank of Baroda, if the
Baroda.
person has an account with Bank of Baroda, probably they are not charging.
Yeah.
But if you're sending it to a non-Bank of Baroda account, that's why maybe they're charging you a rupee or
1
whatever.
rupee 18 paise they charge.
So that must be 1 rupee service charge, and 18% must be the GST on it. So that's how it's
Maybe, yes.
118. Yeah,
Correct.
right. Okay.
Then what?
What is UPI?
Hello, mom. Bye.
Sorry, that was my son. Okay, what is UPI? So your options are Unlimited Payments of India, Unified Payments of India, Unified Payments Interface, and
Unified
United Payments.
Payments of India.
Number 3, Unified Payments Interface.
Interface. Okay. I'm not sure. I think it is 2.
No,
I think it's 2.
payment integration. It is
Okay, so
United
number
Payment
3.
Integration.
2, 3, and
3.
Shireen Aunty thinks it's 4.
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It is number 3, Unified
Number 3.
Payments Interface.
Interface.
Yeah. Okay. So what is UPI, right? So again, the front end of when you in the front end of the Google Pay or Amazon Pay or Paytm, if you try logging in and you try to make a payment, sometimes it asks you, do you want to make a UPI payment? If you go to Amazon, right? If you see the various, so just do this. Okay, go to Amazon, put something in the cart. Okay, try to do a dummy purchase. It will give you various options as to how do you want to pay for it. Do you want cash on delivery? Do you want a credit card? Do you want a debit card? Or do you want to put in your UPI ID? So UPI ID is like an address of your bank account. Okay, so you're not disclosing your bank account to the person, you're disclosing your UPI ID. Okay, so if your UPI ID is, say Ruchira Aunty, your UPI ID is RUCH@HDFC. Yeah, you can create your own UPI ID. It's like creating your own address, right? You just create a name, RUCH@HDFC. Okay, so you use that to make the payment. So Amazon doesn't see what your account number is. It actually knows there's an RUCH@HDFC. Okay, but at the back end, the RUCH at HDFC is linked to an HDFC bank account and it debits the money from that account. So the chances of fraud get reduced quite significantly because you're not disclosing your bank account number to anybody, right? It's a dummy name. It's like your email ID. It's like an email ID, right? It's a dummy name. So, so you should not be scared. Or I know as seniors, everyone is afraid of doing transactions online and, what if, there's a fraud, and there have been some instances, but UPI reduces it significantly because nobody can see which bank account you have, with which bank or branch you have. It's a dummy name. Yeah.
I don't know.
Please don't.
Okay. So, are y'all with me or it's
Babu was
technical?
Somebody is talking in between.
Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, so as I just spoke, right? Why is it important? It's like so you can just send money from your smartphone. You don't need a debit card, right? You don't need anything. Once it's all linked, it just goes immediately, right? So it goes immediately because in the back end, it's using IMPS. Okay, it's very unique. It's like your email ID. Okay, nobody can see it. Nobody, because it's absolutely secure. You cannot see
Financial terms.
they cannot see your bank account number and you cannot see their bank account number. Yeah, it's absolutely secure from both sides.
So how do you get UPI? How do you get that? Yeah.
So as long as you have net banking, okay, as long as you have net banking activated for your account, yeah, once you download the app of the bank, okay, so if you have an HDFC bank account and you at the time of opening the account or subsequently have applied for net banking, then when you download the app on your smartphone, the HDFC Bank app on your smartphone, then for your account, you can create your UPI ID. Okay, so the whole thing starts with you activating net banking for your bank account. Then if you want, you do net banking from your computer or the laptop like normally we would, or you download it on your smartphone and you use the mobile app. Right? But the first step is to get net banking activated. I'm sure most of you all have, because the pandemic has been the most, I think it has probably explained the importance of having net banking. Because it obviously doesn't make sense going to the bank branches at this point in time. So people who don't have net banking have really got stuck and have been using other people's account to transfer money and then transfer cash to them and things like that. So having net banking and having an ATM card is of utmost importance, especially as seniors as well, right? Because you can't always for every small thing go to a branch, pandemic or no pandemic. You have to think of ways to make your life simpler. And there is a lot of technology and a lot of work that happens in the back end. So you need to get out that fear, okay, right? I mean, I'm sure all of you are over the fear because now you all are using WhatsApp, you all are on Zoom calls, so you all have accepted technology. So you need to accept technology to make your life simple as well, right? So whoever doesn't have net banking and ATM, must do that. Yeah, as and when you'll get a chance, please fill in the forms. And nowadays, the banks are even giving you the form at home, sending you forms at home. It's available on their website. Just download it, fill it up, and just send it via email, to them. You don't even have to go to the branch to submit that form. You can just send it via email to them and they will update it and they will activate it for you. So, my sincere appeal to everyone is that you should get it done. You should get it done. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, look at the way people have adopted. 8,000 crores worth of transactions happen in India every single day. And IMPS happens on holidays as well, including Sundays, right? You know, so if your fruit vendor and your vegetable vendor can accept this, yeah, I mean, you all definitely can. You know, you have to do it. It's as simple as that, right? They accepted it more out of necessity because they don't have the privilege of asking these questions, but they accepted it. You know, it's time for all of us to accept it too. Okay. So, e-wallet. You have wallets, right? Keep hearing of wallets. What are wallets? So it's like your little purse. Yeah, all of us have little purse, one purse in the locker, and like they show in, you know, movies and serials as one, you know, one pouch in one steel ka dabba somewhere on top. Yeah, you're stashing cash away for future requirements. That's exactly what an e-wallet is. You create these small wallets. Yeah, so whether it's Paytm is a wallet. Yeah, Google Pay is a wallet. So you just okay. So another thing is, right, people say, oh, if suppose there's a fraud on my net bank, right, if I start doing net banking with my main account where all my you know, interest and my dividends and everything come, right, that's a valid fear, right? You may feel, oh, there can be a fraud. So what do? So you park some of this money. So you decide, okay, probably for my groceries or for my shopping or for my medicines, right? I need to spend, say, 10,000 a month, right? That 10,000 from your main bank account, you transfer into a wallet, which is, say, for example, Paytm, right? So you've transferred 10,000 there. Now, all the payments that you want to make, whether it is paying for your medicines, Amazon, Zomato to order something to eat, or your grocery or your fruit wala, whoever, right? Make do with that 10,000. So technically, if a fraud has to happen, where the case of fraud is absolutely negligible unless somebody hacks into the system, but your risk is minimized to 10,000. Your account is secure, your account is safe. Now your main account is absolute, it is safe either ways. But even if that hesitation or fear is there, transfer your money into a wallet, just 10,000, and make your payments from there. No need for cash, no need for you to, you know, rush to an ATM or request somebody to go to an ATM. Not required. Now, of course, you can't eliminate cash completely for everything, but bulk of it can definitely be eliminated. Yeah. Today, even your maids are accepting Google Pay. Right?
So
you
how
can
do you
eliminate-
transfer? How do you transfer the money?
So you download the app. So you download the Paytm, for example, right? You download the Paytm app. Okay. It will ask you again. It will ask you to link it because where will the money come from in the wallet? Physically, you always put it, right? So somebody has to put it in, right? So you will
Okay.
link it to your bank account. Okay? You will link it to a bank account, but only whatever you want it to debit your bank account is what will get debited and come over there as a wallet,
Okay.
right? And then you use that
And-
to make payments ahead.
And when that is over, then you transfer again another sum.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So as
Thank
your
you.
balance
Thank you.
keeps depleting, you keep transferring over there.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what an e-wallet is. So PhonePe, Paytm, PayZapp, Google Pay, they're all wallets. They're just wallets. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So again, so they use the same technology. It's all linked to UPI and therefore to IMPS. Okay. Those are all the technology which is being used in the back end. All right. So this is on the various ways in which payments can happen and you know, how you could go about making your life slightly simpler. All right. Okay. Next. What is an ETF? All right. exchange transfer fund,
Fund.
exchange traded fund, equal transaction function, equal trade function.
Number two,
Exchange transfer fund.
Number two.
False.
Okay,
Equal
number two.
transaction
First one, I
function.
think.
exchange traded
Equal
fund.
transaction
Yeah.
function.
Exchange transfer fund.
Number two.
Function.
Okay, so
Equal
1 and 2.
transaction function.
First one.
Yeah, first one.
Second one. Number two.
Transaction.
Okay.
ETF.
So let's see what it is. It is number 2. It's an exchange
Then
traded
traded
fund.
fund.
Okay, so it's nothing to do with payments. We're done with payments. So it's nothing to do with transfers. Okay, now we are moving to investing, right? Okay, so it's an exchange traded fund. So obviously everybody knows about the stock market, about the NSE, about the BSE, right? So what is that? You're investing in a single stock, right? You're investing today in an Infosys or an HDFC, right? What is an ETF? It's a basket. It can be a basket. It can be a basket of stocks. So if I think of say a PSU banks, right? I want an exposure to all the PSU banks or most of them. Yeah, I don't know tomorrow if Bob will do well or Bob will get merged with somebody else or a Dena Bank will get merged with somebody else. I don't know. What if it gets merged? It may do much better, right? I don't know what to do. So I look at a ETF like this because then I know exact. So when we hear about, okay, the banks are going to talk, also the government is talking of PSU privatization, right? So you will say, "Arey, but which bank will they privatize? How will I know?" So you invest in a bank. So you invest in a PSU bank ETF, right? It's a basket.
Okay.
Okay, gold. We all have gold stashed up in our lockers. Full-time way of investing money, of saving money.
There are Nifty ETF, Sensex ETF. and so on.
Absolutely, yeah. So again, okay, yeah. Thanks, Pushpa aunty. So instead of only looking at bank Bs, I just want to bet on the entire market. You know, I don't know. I don't have the wherewithal to understand which stock will go up, which sector will go up. But I think, acha, India is booming. Achhe din aa rahe hain. You know, so I think I should invest in the Sensex. So I just put in the Sensex ETF, right? So it's like you're diversifying. Your return may not be as great as investing in one stock, but you are trying to pool in everything. You're trying to make the most of it, right? So it's a basket. When you don't know what to pick up individually, you look at baskets, and that's why you look at mutual funds, right? Because you don't know. You don't know. You can't track. Forget about not knowing. Sorry, but you can't track it. So you say, okay, I'll put in a mutual fund. Right? So an ETF is slightly like that. You need to track an ETF, but that's what you do. Gold, right? We all used to buy those, biscuits or, buy jewelry and keep it, right? My daughter will use it. My daughter-in-law will use it. But when the time comes to give to your daughter or your daughter-in-law, it's what you made probably is completely out of fashion, right? She's going to break it.
Yes.
She's going to break it. All right. So instead of stashing it in your locker, put it into a gold ETF. It's the same thing. You're getting exposure to gold, right? The price of the ETF is moving in line with the gold prices to a large extent, right? It becomes, from physical asset, it's becoming a financial asset. Lesser hassle for you, lesser things for you to keep in your locker, lesser things to remember when you're making a will. It's nominated, it's in a financial asset. Clean, simple for you, clean, simple for the person. I'm sorry I'm using these terms, but we all need to plan for these things, right? And you have to make things simple for your own sake, right? So that's what exchange traded funds do. They just ease it off for you.
In the NSE, Karishma, now these days I attended one seminar in Nippon ETF. NSE, they are registered the company, Nippon Sensex B's something. ETF B's. You are knowing that because you are CA. So in the NSE, they are traded daily.
Yes,
basis.
yes. So it is traded. So it's an exchange traded fund. So it's different from a mutual fund because this gets traded on the stock exchange like your stock. Okay, like your Bob, your Dena Bank, your SBI is traded every day. The bank PSUBs, it's called bank PSUBs. They are also traded every day. Gold ETF is traded every day. So just as in the market, the price of gold is every shopkeeper chapaos its buy sell rate every morning. It's the same thing. It is traded and the price is determined based on demand and supply every single day. Right? So to that extent, yeah, you have to monitor it a little bit, but probably not as much as monitoring a single stock, but you have to monitor it a little more than what you would monitor a mutual fund. Yeah. So that's what an exchange traded fund is. Okay. So what do you achieve, right? So I've spoken most of it. So it's basically an index. It could be a commodity. So as Pushpanti also said, Sensex ETF. It's basically a basket. Okay, it's just a basket. So it trades on the exchange real time, right? Morning, evening, during the trading hours on the stock exchange, and it's a basket. Okay, so all what I spoke is what is basically covered here. So is it different from investing a mutual fund? To some extent, yes. Yes, because this is real time. A mutual fund, you give a request to the fund manager, he puts your money in at the day end, you get the day end NAV, and then you get the units the next day, right? It happens differently. It doesn't go into your demat account. So it is slightly different from a mutual fund. Yeah, real time mutual fund gets settled at the end of the day. Okay, purchasing the mutual fund is not under your control, right? You just put into a particular fund. The fund manager decides. Of course, he has certain parameters to follow. Within those parameters, he can do what he wants to, right? And when you buy and sell, it's at a lag. You'll get the next day's NAV and the settlement, etc. Okay? So there's a slight difference between the two. And of course, transaction costs are lower because in a mutual fund, you have a portfolio manager sitting there. So obviously there are AMC charges and there are office charges, etc., which don't happen in an ETF. Yeah. So that's about ETFs. So again, why should I invest in mutual funds? Right? You should, because it's professionally managed. I don't know what to track. I don't know what to do. Yeah. So let somebody who knows it to do it for me. Yeah. It's very transparent. Okay. It's very transparent. It's a basket. Okay. There are regulations around it. So for, fund managers can't, yes, there have been instances where certain funds have gone bust, but that's because of the stocks that they have invested in. But pretty much those are like, probably, 3-4 funds I can think of which in the last probably 10 years went bad because of the stocks that they invested in. But pretty much, mutual funds are obviously safe. Yeah. And for people like you and me who can't track it on a daily basis, it's the best thing to do, right? Just park your money there and you get liquidity. So if you place the money in an FD, obviously there's premature withdrawal charges if you decide to break your FD before scheduled maturity, whereas in a mutual fund, you can withdraw it anytime, yeah, whenever your need arises. Okay, and obviously, hopefully it gives you a better return than what the FD gives you. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
And SIP, that's the best thing, right? Small amounts of money. Yeah, FD, you can't go to a bank and tell him, yeah, well, you can, but, can't do 5,000 rupees FD and every month, right? So you do an SIP. Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, all of this has certain risks involved, right? Depending on what the mutual fund is investing in, whether it's investing in the stock market, whether it's investing in the debt market, which is basically bonds, there is always some risk. It's not principal protected like an FD, right? But if you have reasonable understanding, if you track it reasonably on a quarterly basis or half yearly basis and understand how it's moving, follow news, etc., you should be able to, get a hang of it and avoid any depletion of principal. But yeah, it's not principal protected in that way like an FD is. Okay. So obviously all of y'all, I'm sure, I mean, y'all are so much senior to me. Y'all have obviously thought about your retirement, your, planning,
Yeah,
your finances.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
FDs are secure up to a certain amount, right? Not any amount.
Um,
The bank times.
yes. So in an unforeseen situation where the bank in which you have placed an FD goes bad, then yes, as per the insurance cover that is provided by the insurance companies to the bank, to the depositors money lying with these banks, as of today it is 1 lakh. So I'll give you a real life example, right? PMC went bust, I think last year.
Yeah.
Right?
It's 5x.
Are you sure? I thought the DIGC cover was 1 lakh. I may be wrong, sorry. My
They-
understanding was it was 1 lakh.
In this budget, they increased something.
Okay. So yes, there is a certain amount. So if the bank in which you've kept the FD goes bust, then yes, the cover is limited to whatever is, decided as per, the ministry or the insurance company that provides the cover. Anything above that is yes at risk. Yeah. So I'll cover it in a little bit of form ahead when we go. Actually, we are already at 6 o'clock. I don't know whether you all want me to continue with this or you want me to do this some other time.
Continue, sorry.
Other time.
You
I'm
can
sorry.
continue.
I can continue.
Yeah, continue.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll just quickly. So yeah, of course, you all know all these ways. I'm sure you all have, put your savings accordingly into various instruments. Yeah. Okay. Now. Okay, so this is about YONO. Okay, a bank launched YONO where you can withdraw money, etc., without using debit cards. So when you go to this YONO Cash branch of the bank, you don't need a debit card. Normally, when you go to an ATM, you need to put your card in to be able to withdraw money. But
SBI.
that's
State
right.
Bank.
That's right. It's SBI. So you go to the kiosk and it is cardless, paperless, etc. Okay. So what is SIFI? Probably you all would not know this, but I'll just, quickly get into it. It's called a systematically important financial institution, right? So it's a financial institution which the government crowns as it is systematically important, which means it's too big to fail. Yeah, the government will do all that it can to ensure there's proper regulation and oversight to ensure that these banks don't go bust. There are 3 systematically important banks in this country, and that's SBI, HDFC, and ICICI. Which means theoretically, okay, if you have your money in any of these banks, okay, nothing can go wrong. Yeah, your money is secure. Theoretically, because the government will not allow it to fail. Yeah, if people who know the financial crisis which happened in 2008, major financial institutions failed. And that's when this concept came in, where the government agrees that these are banks which we will do whatever it takes to bail them out. Right? Of course, in this country also banks have stepped in, RBI has stepped in whenever required, but not for cooperative banks. So please, if any of you all have FDs with cooperative banks, please try to make an attempt to move into at least a public sector bank, a decent public sector bank. Yeah. Because cooperative bank, and especially, because cooperative banks have a lot of concentrated borrowers and lenders, right? That's how they function. That's how their model is. So and you can see, go back in history or Google up banks that have failed in India. You will see most of them are cooperative banks. Yeah. RBI will not step in. RBI will not step in for cooperative banks. Yeah. So if you'll have because in PMC, we have seen, my mom and I have seen people whose lifelong savings have been there. Yeah. Right. And it is not prudent to have money in cooperative bank. Yeah. So as much as possible, in case you all have, I mean, having normal bank accounts and all is fine. I'm sure most people have moved out of it. But if you have historical FDs and all, which you've just out of laziness, kept on renewing it there, just move it out from there. Just move it out from there.
What's Karnataka Bank?
Karnataka Bank is a PSU.
Nationalized bank.
Yeah,
Nationalized.
it's a PSU. Yeah, it's not a
Thank
cooperative.
Bharat Corporate is a cooperative bank. Bharat
Yeah,
Bank.
so most cooperative banks will
Bharati
have
and
cooperative
Bank.
in the part of their name, right? So PMC is Punjab and Maharashtra Cooperative Bank.
Saraswat Bank also. But they are
But Saraswat Bank is among the strongest cooperative sector banks, and they've probably been classified also as a scheduled bank, if I'm not mistaken.
not-
And therefore they are okay, but not the other cooperative banks.
What about Abudaya Bank?
Cooperative.
Abudaya?
Abhyudaya is a cooperative bank, right? It's Abhyudaya
Yeah,
Cooperative
yeah,
Bank.
yeah.
So the name will have it. Or you can Google it up, Google up RBI scheduled commercial banks. You'll see the list of all these scheduled commercial banks in the country.
मैं बात करी है
Yeah.
मैंने बात करी मेरे
Citizen
को
Bank.
स्टडी करी ना मैंने के
How is
Sorry, I
Abudaya
think
Bank? It's good.
someone's having parallel conversations. Okay, so this is my last thing for today. Bitcoin. Right? So much in the news. I'm sure you all have heard this.
Yeah.
I wonder what it is. Okay, wonder what it is. So what is it? A coin my dog bit? A cryptocurrency?
Currency.
A digital wallet? Or is it a fraud?
Cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency. Oh,
Absolutely. It is a cryptocurrency.
what's
Yeah.
that?
So what is a cryptocurrency? It's a currency which is encrypted. Simple. The
Oh.
answer is in the name. It's a currency which is encrypted, which means it is virtual money.
Okay. What?
It's simply put, it's virtual money.
What?
You
Hard
can't
cash?
see it, you can't feel it, you can't touch it. No, it's virtual.
Okay.
It's like Zoom. It's virtual. Yeah. Now, how does it work? Who creates this money? It's not the government.
No one knows.
Yeah, RBI prints
No
money.
one knows who
The Fed.
who created. No one knows.
Yes. Well, who created it? Probably, yes. There's a group of people, and it was a Japanese guy, if I'm not mistaken, who actually created this
Their
concept.
names are not there in the.
Yes. Public domain, yes. Their individuals' names are not there in the public domain. So nobody prints it. It's not like Fed printing money. It's not like RBI printing money. It's a group of individuals who, through a network of computers, a network of algorithms, has created this money. Okay, bizarre as it may sound, but that's what it is. Yeah. So how does it work? It's just based on a software. It's algorithm based. You're buying a virtual digital asset when you buy it and you sell it. Yeah.
Is it
Okay.
safe?
Yeah, I will come to that. I will come to that. Yeah. It is. So it's like just like the stock market, just like any other commodity trading, it's decided by the demand and supply. Okay, people ask for bitcoins. The demand increases, the price increases. Yeah, and some countries are backing it big time. You can make payments using Bitcoin. Can, right? I mean, unheard of. You wouldn't have thought of it 20 years back. But yes, non-existent virtual money is actually being used to make payments. Yeah. So there's no bank account. It's a wallet. We spoke of wallets, right? E-wallets. This is a crypto wallet.
But what guarantee we have that we are kept with them?
No guarantee.
There is no guarantee. There is no guarantee. But there is technology behind it. Okay. It's not a punt. Okay. I mean, to some extent, I would say it is not a punt because there is proper back-end technology behind this. And that technology is called blockchain. Yeah, it's called blockchain. This is a technology which banks are using it in their day-to-day transactions. When banks are dealing with payments across countries, yeah, the technology of blockchain to see how the goods move and the payment moves is through blockchain. The technology is worldwide accepted. that same technology, which is just a tracking mechanism, it's like a block. If you take lots of blocks and you club them together, right, can't be removed. That's a blockchain. It's a long chain of transactions. You can't modify it. If the chain is done, it is done. So to that extent, there is a logic, there's a technology behind it. You can trace, but like in a Paytm wallet, you can't trace the bank account from where you transferred money to the Paytm wallet. Here, you cannot trace whose Bitcoin this is. So if I want to buy a Bitcoin, it will be in my wallet. Nobody will know this is my money. Yeah, it's there. Just like the Paytm. I mean, I'm just using similar words. There's of course a lot of legalities and all to it, but just to give you an example of how it works. Yeah. So there is technology which makes it secure to some extent, and that is why it is acceptable. Otherwise, why would people accept it as a proper means of payment, right? Why would Elon Musk come on social media and tell you, yes, it is a good thing, right? So there is technology behind it, right? There is some sort of mechanism to figure it out, right? The day Elon Musk, and it's not too far behind, very recently he put this tweet out in the real world. The day he put this tweet out, a Bitcoin's price went up from $3,000 to $27,000 per Bitcoin. Yeah, it's because a man like him backed it. It's a man like him backed it, right? I mean, a technology guy among the richest people in the world, among the most tech savvy person in the world makes a statement like this. It's good, right? It's enough. So therefore, coming to the point, is it safe? Tomorrow, if the government, of course, RBI has been saying, oh, we don't believe in it and we will probably look to ban it in some form or fashion. RBI in the overall scheme of things of the world economy is probably not that relevant. But if a Jeff Bezos or a Warren Buffett has to come out and say this is all rubbish, right? That day the $27,000 thing will move down to probably $2, right? So it's risky. It's extremely risky. Right? It's not.
It is traded in stock market.
No, it's not traded in stock market. There's no stock market for it.
Oh,
In the future, Elon Musk will say that it's going down, then it's again.
Yeah, absolutely. Because everyone is looking at followers to see what's happening, right? Even RBI, our own country is saying that we will think of our own digital currency, right? Nirmala Sitharaman in her speech said this. We will think of launching our own digital currency. But they are also watching. As I said, we as a country are accepting blockchain as a technology. So we are also, weighing things. We're waiting and watching. Okay, ये कैसे होता है, देखते हैं. We'll probably allow it in some form or fashion. We may not allow it completely. But you have to embrace technology. The country has to embrace. And that is why they are saying, okay, we will launch our own digital currency. Right? China has launched its own. Right? So this is all. It's all technology, right? It depends on how it goes, right? So today a Bitcoin is, I've put in the number there. It's worth 42 lakhs. One Bitcoin.
One Bitcoin.
One Bitcoin. So it's obviously not for you and me. Okay, at this point in time. But it just shows how technology is moving.
Do you get anything in writing?
I'm sorry?
Do you get anything in writing how much Bitcoins you are getting and what?
Oh, no. It's all in that wallet. It's all in the wallet.
Yeah.
But as I said, because it's technology, right? There's technology is there. So you can, it is secure to that extent. You can't create fake. I can't say I can't go to my wallet and say I have 10 Bitcoins. I can't. It's a technology which actually puts that money into my wallet. Right?
But
so
supposing anything happens to us, then how will our children get it?
So it's not companies. As of now, there are no legal regulations around it. There is nothing. So as I said, it's not for you and me as of now. Yeah, It's not for you and me. There is no succession planning. There is no nothing that can happen. You can't nominate
Maybe
somebody.
the currency of the future.
Yeah, you cannot nominate somebody to your wallet, to your crypto wallet. You cannot at this point in time.
That it's gone
Yeah.
means it's gone. You're gone, it's gone.
All the black money is in the Bitcoin. All the black money of the India is in the Bitcoin.
Yeah, a lot of it is, I mean, yeah, one can argue like that because you can't trace it back to the person who actually owns the crypto wallet. It's another way of, putting your black money in. But the fact that, a person like Elon Musk goes about social media, right, talking about it means it's not that, yeah, of course, and he has lots of money to talk about it either. But the point is that, there is some merit, right? So there can be white money that goes into the Bitcoin as well. It's not that it's all black money, but yeah, you could argue it's one of the other instruments to park your black money in. Yeah. So just as you can't nominate somebody to your Hawala transactions, you can't nominate anybody Bitcoin as well. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, should I buy Bitcoins? No, probably not. Let's just figure out probably 10, 15 years down the line. If we see what happens with this currency, then yeah, we could think of doing it, provided it becomes reasonable for us to put money into it, right? 42 lakhs is a lot of money.
42 lakhs and we get
Exactly.
1 Bitcoin.
Exactly. It's a lot of money. So, or let's wait for RBI to launch its own digital currency. We'll see where that takes us. Yeah. Okay. So
Really
that's
wonderful.
broadly it. And thank
Karishma,
you.
really, we enjoyed a lot. And
Karishma, come more often and teach us more.
very informative.
So yeah,
Thank
so
you so
actually,
much.
no, my pleasure.
Thank
So
you,
we've
Karishma.
been toying with this idea to make Tare Social not only entertainment, but actually also, help you all learn something new,
Yes, yes.
right?
Yes,
So in
that's
fact,
right. That's right.
So in
Yeah.
fact, it'll be very, very useful if you all, provide your feedback to Saleh or any of us, okay, as to what would you like to hear from us, right? If there are any concepts you read in the paper, you hear and, you want to understand, once we hear these things from multiple people, we can schedule a proper presentation like this, or we could just have a chat, right? We can just have a general Q&A chat. The topic could vary.
You can also decide on the topic because I wouldn't have thought of asking you all this, but it was a real good learning experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good. Very good.
We'll
Yeah.
try to come up with these kind of different things. And but if there's anything that strikes your mind that you read and you don't understand and you want us to cover it in detail, we'll be happy to do that. So we could probably once in 2 weeks have something like this, which is less fun but more technical, but it actually helps you have a conversation with your family, your children, your grandchildren about, hey, I know what a Bitcoin is, right? So,
So I think it was very, very good. Very informative.
Very good.
thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you so much.
Very well explained.
But I'm not getting confidence yet to trade in with a card or something. I don't know.
Yeah, correct. I also don't find it.
But
Find
it's
it-
actually pretty seamless. Card, of course. I mean, now that you can't really go to the, or it's avoidable to go to an ATM and stuff. If you get
I
net
don't-
banking done, it's very, very seamless. Or as I said, just create a wallet to get over your fear. Put your money into a wallet, hedge your bet, right? Put only 5,000. If you make an
limited.
incorrect transfer, you may say, I put the account number wrongly. It happens, right? It happens. Yeah. If
Yes.
you're a first time user, you put the digits differently. It is possible.
Yeah.
But always do a dummy. Suppose you have to transfer. I'll give you an example, right? Our maid wanted the money to be transferred to one bank in one of the villages of Maharashtra, right? It was in one of your mainstream PSU banks. Okay, there was a correspondent bank in between, right? Now I wasn't sure, it didn't. I mean, I had not heard of that name of that smallish bank which was there in whichever district of Maharashtra. So what I did, I transferred 1 rupee. Okay, in technical terms, it's called a penny drop. You just transfer 1 rupee, right? If it reaches the person, then you're fine. Okay, so 1 rupee reached. Now you transfer your bulk of the money. Yeah. So there are ways to get over it. You just have to have that courage to make that first move.
Tanya, I'm not doing anything to the meeting.
Put it in your wallet. Put it in the wallet. Put 100 rupees. Forget 5,000 rupees. Put 100 rupees. Next time you have to pay Saleh, put it into a Paytm wallet and pay him 100 rupees from there. See how it goes.
ATM wallet from where?
So you download the app. Download the app.
ATM app.
Download, acha,
So you
download
download the app. You all have a smartphone. Yeah.
Yes.
Go to
We
your
are
app
scared
store.
to download.
Why? Why are you scared to download? Okay, if you're scared, okay, listen, if you're scared to download, okay, y'all have my number, or you want, I will put it my number to over here on my chat. You call me, I will do a video call and I will show you how to download. Yeah, fair?
Yes,
Done. Thank
Fair?
you.
Okay,
Yes.
I will teach you how to download. No
Yeah,
problem.
we need a demonstration. We need you to
Yeah.
explain it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do one thing. I will ask Saleh. We'll try and schedule one session where we show you how to download,
Yes.
right? How to create, how with net banking to actually add a beneficiary. Okay, I'm assuming all of y'all have net banking, right? If most of y'all
Yes.
don't have net banking, then it is pointless.
No.
All right.
I
Yeah.
go direct to the bank.
E-wallet is better than the net banking.
So then, okay, so let's just do the wallet part. Okay, I will check with Saleh. We'll schedule a session where we show you how to download this. If that's not happening in the near future, I will show you. I will show you how to download. Okay, we'll have a Zoom call and I will show you how to download.
But
Yeah,
then we
that's
have
my
only
number.
one mobile.
I'm sorry.
We have only one mobile.
Okay, so I can explain to you. I will do a screen share here on my on my laptop or something, and or I'll do a screen share that you first understand step by step. Okay, and and then you could try it on your own.
Done.
Yeah, or if you have somebody else in your house, just do a normal voice call.
Can you send the number
Okay,
again?
keep your smart.
Can you send the number again? 98
The chat it is written.
98204-544.
Tell Saleh to send it on.
Just write to me and I'll send it. Just write to Saleh, to Kyle Social, and I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to put it onto the group drive because there are 250 people there on that and most of them don't join in. So, but you know, you all have Saleh's number. You know, take my number from him if you haven't noted this down. And you know, call me from a regular phone. Have your smartphone available for a download and download it, right? You know, transfer 100 rupees. Try it out with 100 rupees, and then you can as you get confidence, then you can start doing more things online.
Yes. Thank you, dear.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Thank you, God.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Bye.
God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Good night.
All the best.
Thank you.